Hello and welcome if you're new to my channel, and if you're a subscriber, a warm welcome back. In this video, I'm going to be talking about cutlery, and in particular, I'm going to be recommending brands and retailers in the mid-tier and going right up to the top end of the market. I'm Anesu Sagonda and I manage a luxury lifestyle management business in London. My content is largely educationally focused and geared towards people typically new to money or keen to explore alternate mid-lux or super brands that are a little under the radar but still heavily weighted on quality. I'm going to be recommending cutlery made from three materials: stainless steel, silver plated and sterling silver. I've chosen those three materials because of the quality and versatility that they offer, and I've also gone for a diverse array of brands that offer ranges that are both classic and contemporary in the design. And as I mentioned in my dinnerware service, which I'll attach above, cutlery is one of the best accessories you can use to either dress up or dress down a dinner set. The first material, stainless steel, at an absolute minimum, I always recommend 1810 stainless steel. 1810 is the percentage of chromium and nickel respectively that's added to the nickel. So that's 18% chromium, 10% nickel. And that makes the stainless steel a lot more durable, rust resistant. It gives that extra shine and it makes it easier to clean. It also helps produce a more weighted product. So it's heavier to the touch. It's still well balanced, but it's just a very well made, better quality material for your cutlery. You also get cutlery that is advertised as stainless steel 18-0 or 18-8. Again, it's 18% to 0 chromium or 18% chromium and 8% nickel. But 1810 is the sweet spot, is the best level, the best quantity of your chromium and nickel, and it produces a very good quality product. And particularly if you're somebody who's just going to buy your stainless steel and use it for the rest of your life, then you're going to be assured very good quality cutlery, and it's now just down to how you look after it. So you have your stainless steel, and then the silver plated. With silver plated, it's either stainless steel or nickel plated with the silver. And I find, speaking to a number of brands, when you typically use nickel, it gives much better definition to the designs of the cutlery versus stainless steel. And then you have sterling silver right at the top end in terms of the quality, in terms of price, and it's just pure silver. Looking specifically at retailers, I'm going to split them into your online and also your physical stores, and then I'm going to end off with recommending the brands mid-tier going right up to the top end. Your online retailers, a handful I'd like to recommend. Your entry-level mid-tier, two fantastic websites. You have Grunwerg and you have Wayfair. And my first cutlery set that I ever bought came from Grunwerg. It was a range called Festival, and they have a great selection of classic style brands, ranges such as Festival, Jubilee, Gala, Balmoral, Windsor, just to get you started. And then Wayfair, and then in the middle there's an interesting brand called Nisbet. Nisbet in the United Kingdom has a number of physical stores as well as online presence. They typically are a lot more focused on your trade business, but they do take public business as well. And then your top end of the mid-tier online retailers, two fantastic websites, Amara and my favorite, Studio William. Studio William is an award-winning business and they produce an amazing array of cutlery. And then moving on to your physical stores, the stores that I mentioned a couple of weeks ago in my dinnerware video, can't go wrong with Ochre Design, with Heels and Son and the Conran shop in terms of the mid-tier, producing a fantastic selection of diverse styles for the price, the quality, the ready availability. And then throw into that, they don't do just your stainless steel plain cutlery, but they also do your fun cutlery with either plastic additions or porcelain or something fun in terms of the design element. But as I mentioned before, I'll always stress, whatever you buy, make sure at a minimum it is 1810 stainless steel. And then moving on to your actual brands in the mid-tier, three brands in order of quality. My first one you'll always hear me talk about when it comes to anything in the kitchen, whether it's stemware, cutlery, crockery. It's a fantastic German brand, Villeroy and Boch. And Villeroy and Boch is amazing if you want something in the mid-tier and that's all you're ever going to have, or just your introduction into luxury. And then the next one up, two British brands I'm going to be recommending. In the north of England, very similar to Stoke-on-Trent with your pottery, is a thriving steel industry in Sheffield. And you have a number of remarkable steel cutlery companies. Grunwerg, for example, the one I mentioned, online retailers. And then you have two fantastic privately run family businesses. The first one, and they're focused on just stainless steel and your silver plated. It's sovereign silver plated. It's a company called Arthur Price. And then my top recommendation is a company called Cars. But Cars, I don't necessarily want to put in mid-tier. It would be the very top end of the mid-tier. But they are luxury now. They are the bottom end of luxury, and the range of products is different to what you get with, for example, Villeroy and Boch and Arthur Price, where it's stainless steel and maybe silver plated. But with Cars, they are very much focused on your stainless steel, silver plated, and also sterling silver. A fantastic brand, as I mentioned earlier, privately run family business, and they're very much focused on producing a quality product with phenomenal service. Retailers at the top end of the market, I'm a little cautious about recommending online stores, purely because when you're buying cutlery at the top end of the market, it is very expensive. You're spending thousands of pounds. And at the very least, you need to see, feel, touch, look at the cutlery. But if that's not possible, at least have a detailed conversation with somebody who can talk you through your options and so forth. But if you're somebody who's a repeat buyer and you know what you're buying, then by all means, let me know in the comments down below, and I can always recommend accordingly. In terms of your physical stores for your top end, 3 stores I've already mentioned in the past. You have Selfridges, you have Harrods, and you have Thomas Good. Thomas Good is head and shoulders ahead of the other two, in particular at the very top end of the market. They have a couple of other ranges, which I'm not going to mention here, but they're more their house-owned brands. But whatever you buy in Thomas Good, it's always going to be phenomenal in terms of quality, in terms of look, in terms of performance. The top end of the market is very much dominated by French brands that are steeped in a lot of history, and they date back either to the 18th or the 19th century. My first brand is a brand called Christofle, founded in 1830, and they produce cutlery in stainless steel, silver plated, and also sterling silver. The next brand up is a brand called Puiforcat, and Puiforcat is owned by Hermès, and Hermès, as we know, is one of the biggest and the best luxury brands in the world. All their work is understated, and the emphasis is very much on the quality and the craftsmanship, and Puiforcat more than confidently delivers. They also produce cutlery in stainless steel, silver plated, and sterling silver. The very top end of the market is single-handedly dominated by a French brand started in 1690, and it dates back to a time where it was made very popular, was put on the radar by Louis XV, and Napoleon has also been associated with the brand. It literally is a brand fit for royalty and heads of state. It would not look out of place, and it's actually the type of cutlery that's fitting for your state or your royal banquets. It's a business that was founded by Jean-Baptiste Odiot, who was known as one of the best goldsmiths of his time, and his work is incredibly intricate. It's very detailed, it's very ornate, and the cutlery is only in sterling silver. They don't do anything else but just sterling silver. It's absolutely exquisite in terms of the design, the look, the feel. It is beautiful and show-stopping. And in my dinnerware service, where I mentioned getting a plain color dinner service, white for example, and then getting beautiful accessories, Odiot cutlery could single-handedly elevate the whole dining experience just from how beautiful the cutlery is. Imagine a situation where you have a snow white porcelain plate with the sterling silver cutlery, or you could also have your fine bone china, the warmer toned white plate with your gold cutlery. Both would look exquisite. Looking at prices, your online retailers, your entry-level mid-tier brands, depending on the number of pieces in your set. So I'd anticipate a starter set having your table knife and fork, dessert knife and fork and spoon, soup spoon and a teaspoon. 7 pieces, I would anticipate you're looking at around no more than about £500, 250 to £500, depends on the numbers, as I said. Your mid-tier brands, so your Villeroy and Boch, your Arthur Price, you're looking at between 500 and to £1,000. Again, depends on the number of pieces and of course the design that you're going for. So your entry level, 5 to 750, Arthur Price, Villeroy and Boch, 500 to 1,000, and then your cars, I would say 1,500 for your stainless steel. For your silver plated, I would say about 4,500. And for your sterling silver, around the £25,000 mark. Christofle, your stainless steel, I would say around 1,500 to 2,000 for your stainless steel. For your silver plated, I would say about £4,500 to £5,000. And for your top end, your sterling silver, I would price it around 26, 27 plus £1,000. So £27,000 plus, more towards maybe 27, 30,000. And that's for your more detailed, your more ornate designs. And then looking at Puiforcat for your stainless steel, very comfortably around the £5,000 mark. For your silver plated, I would say between £7,000, £8,000. Again, depends on the style, but around that sort of mark, your mid mark, £7,000 to £8,000 to £9,000. And then your sterling silver, I would comfortably say £35,000 plus for your Puiforcat. For Odiot, you're looking at between £400 to £800, depending on the design per piece. Yes, you heard me correctly, between £400 to £800 per piece and the material used, whether it's just sterling silver or sterling silver with the gold on top. That is your Odiot. I mean, you're paying for the whole package, from the design, the quality, the heritage, the prestige associated with owning that canteen. So a typical canteen will set you back, conservatively, I would say between £50,000 to £75,000. Depends, of course, on the design and the number of pieces. But for Odiot, I'd always say do not budget anything less than £100,000. What you're finding with a lot of the brands at the very top end of the market, as I mentioned in my dinnerware video, is that cutlery, like dinnerware, once you buy a service at the top end of the market, it's something you keep for life and you rarely replace, or maybe you buy one other set on top and you pass that on to your children and your children's children, for example. And what brands are doing as a way of getting new business and reaching new markets they would otherwise not have access to is collaborating with artists from totally different industries, sectors, and so forth. So for example, Christofle collaborated with Pharrell, one of the biggest and best rappers, and produced a mood with colored fun cutlery in there, and they both benefited. They both were introduced to audiences and products they would otherwise have never known about. But I've mentioned a lot of different brands from the mid-tier going right up to the top end of the market, all with their merits, but all very good quality. If you have any further questions or you'd like to know something else in a little more detail, let me know as always in the comments down below. But otherwise, I thank you for watching and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Take care.